Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. And in this video, I'll be sharing my Apple Fullstack interview experience. Unfortunately, I was not able to clear the interview, but I went through 6 rounds of interview, and I thought I can share my experience so that you guys can benefit from it. So basically, I'll tell you the format, like what's the process, and what all rounds do they have, and like what the overall process looks like, so that if you have an interview coming up with Apple, you can prepare in a much better manner. And I also tried to find some interview experiences on YouTube or on internet while I was preparing for full stack roles, but there wasn't much available, so I thought I'll make this video so that you can benefit it. And yeah, as I mentioned, I was not able to clear it. So I'll list down all the rounds, and I'll also tell what I did well and what I didn't do well, so that you can learn from my mistakes, and also you can give me any feedbacks if you have on the comment section. So yeah, basically I'd applied for this role sometime in February, and it was like a full stack role based in Austin, Texas, and it required 3 years of experience. And then I got a call back in late April or something from a recruiter, and then they had a call with me and they asked me, do you know full stack? I told yeah. And their tech stack was basically like Python for backend and some React for front end. So after the recruiter call, they scheduled a hiring manager round. In this round, it was, I could say it is like 90% behavioral and 10% coding. So mostly they assisted whether basically they tested whether I'm a good fit for their team and stuff. They asked the tech stack I worked on, and here and there few behavioral questions and stuff like that. And mostly they wanted me to ask them more questions. So that was the hiring manager round, and I had one lead code easy problem to solve at the end of the round, and I was able to solve it. I won't be obviously telling you what questions were asked and stuff, because I'm sure like that's not allowed for me to tell because of NDA and stuff. So yeah, hiring manager round got over. So as I mentioned, it was mostly behavioral 90% and one lead code easy. So yeah, that was not a problem, and I cleared that round. Then they called me for 5 rounds of on-site. So, so 5 rounds of on-site. I took 1 week to prepare for this. So since it's a full stack role, I brush up my React knowledge. I basically practiced some live coding React questions, like build a to-do list, build a counter, and build like a search bar using debouncing, revised my JavaScript. So basically for front end I revised React, JavaScript, and obviously as I mentioned live coding using React, and little bit coding using JavaScript, all that I revised. And for backend I was already like good with Python, and I also know Go, but this position didn't require me to know Go. So Python I already know, so I revised it. I did a lot of lead code, like commonly asked lead code questions at Apple. I practiced all that. I did I did a bit of database. Like one day I went through like all the data MySQL commands, like joins, the subqueries, nested queries, all that. I went through it, brush up some normalization concepts and all that. And then it was just a lead code drill, like basically do all the different patterns. Went through this. There is a famous system design book by Alex Wu, I think. Sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. System design by Alex Wu. I did that. Went through all the system design. I'd already done it for previous interviews, lead code and system design. So I didn't spend too much time on it. I practiced it for 2 3 days and went ahead. And then interview started. It was all the 5 rounds were in the same day. And then the first round was with uh, it was like sort of a behavioral, sort of like concept based round. Like like this is the task given to you, how would you like create the front end, like how does the front end look like, the UX UI wise, how it will look like, how will you approach building it, how will you gather the requirements. So it was, you don't have to like write and compile the code, it's just like they want to understand the approach in which you like design the UI and sort of build the full stack application, just the UI part of it. I think that round went pretty well. I was able to like explain how I will gather requirement, how I will basically design the UI. I was also used to asked to design the UI using CoderPad. There is a drawing tool there. I had to like sort of write like a rough sketch on how the UI will look like and all that. I would say out of 100, like 80, around 80 points I might have gotten if I have. I mean, I'm, this is not any rubric or anything. I'm just like giving you a rough estimate of how well the round went. It was pretty well, like I didn't see any red flags or something that I was blanked out or anything. It went well. The second round was a system design round, and the first round was with some senior folk of the team. The second round also with some senior folk. The system design was to design some sort of a database. So again, like all the system design I had went and gone was through this book, like design YouTube, design um, like a rate limiter, those kind of system design. This was completely different. Like you have to design some database schemas, like establish relationship between tables, like one to many, many to one, those kinds of things, which I had just read it in theory. I had never given an interview of that format, but I was able to like do well. I wouldn't say really well, but I was able to sort of, yeah, I needed some hints. Like after he gave me hints, I was able to like sort of take the hints and like tell him how I would like design the schema, like what would be the foreign key, what would be the candidate key, and those sort of things. Yeah, I mean this. What I would say is these types of interview I had not prepared before. System design means I had thought like something like design YouTube, or like I was mostly prepared for those kind of things, but schema design and stuff I had not prepared. But I feel like out of 100, again, if you ask, I would say like 60 or something, like 60 to 70 in this round, because the format was not something that I was expecting. But it's fine, it's a full stack role, so it's a fair game, and I think I pretty much was able to like perform. And then the third round was lead coding. Like they'll give you like a lead code questions and you have to like write and compile the code. I was able to like solve the question, follow up, write the code, test the code, compile the code, run the code, everything. It was fully working. That round went really well. I think this round I would say like 95, 96 out of 100. I mean, I can't like I mean, if it's a live coding round, you can easily verify whether your code works or not because you are running the code. So that went well. And then after that, I had one more live coding round where the first half of the round was, each round was 45 minutes, by the way. So in this, this is the fourth round, right? The first half of it was React, not React. First of it was lead coding. I was given a lead code medium question. I was again able to solve it, compile it, run it. All that worked fine, got done with it. And next half was it was a React round. So they asked me to do some React task, like click on something, display something, and those kind of stuff. I can't reveal the question obviously, but rough estimate, like I'm giving you like what they asked. I think for React, I was able to like, I mean, they were not expecting me to like write a fully working code because um, React and all, you usually like take some help and like you can Google stuff and do, but in this round you were not allowed all that. So they were not they were just wanting to know like the approach I would follow like to write this code. But for the first part of the React code, I was able to like write a working code wherein you click the button, you can see the text and everything. For the follow up, I explained them the approach, like how I would do it and stuff. But I think that would have required some more time and like some more details that was required for me to actually compile the code, because the text that they wanted me to display was like I had to assume the text and stuff like that. So the second part of it I didn't really like run and compile it, but I was able to explain the concept and they were really fine with it. So for this fourth round, if you ask me, the coding went really well. React first half went really well. Second half, I was able to explain and like sort of convince them how I would do it, and I also like wrote a lot of code, but again like it had a lot of components. So right, like showing them like a live demo, like in CoderPad, you can actually like even for React, you can sort of like write and compile and everything. So I was not able to do that part. So if you ask me out of 100, I would say something like 90, because the second half of the React, 85 to 90, because the second part of the React I was mainly I explained and wrote the pseudo code and everything. So, and to be honest, in the beginning they had also told me for React they just want to know like an idea of how I would approach this UI more than the results and stuff. So you would think like 85 to 90 around. So by this time I am done with 4 rounds, right? So out of 4 rounds, I've already told you how I did in each round. You can evaluate yourself based on whatever I'm telling, like how how they will evaluate, I don't know. You can, if you guys are experienced giving interviews, or if you are the one taking interview, you can give me feedback on the comments, like how they would have thought it went. Last round is really like it didn't go well for me. The fifth round, again, I had it with the same hiring manager that took the interview with the very first screening round, same manager. So I was already tired after 4 rounds. It was like almost continuous only. Already tired with low in energy, but I thought it will be like sort of behavioral and sort of little bit of coding. It won't be exhaustive, but it was like a proper technical round. So they asked me a lot of full stack questions, and to be honest, I don't think I was able to like do my best in this round. I didn't go blank. I tried my best. Some of the answers I was able to answer, some I was not able to answer. It felt like this round you could do well if you had like good experience working on full stack. Like if you're like an experience, that 3 years of experience, if you actually like every day, if you went to work and coded on front end, back end, wrote databases, then you would be able to like answer it properly. But I was not able to answer most of the questions that well. I tried to do my best. And then after that, like there was also a little bit of behavioral questions, and then they went on to coding, and that coding question was like it was hard. It was not easy. Like it was not a typical lead code question. It was not something you can really prepare for. It was some like string versioning, something like that. I mean, obviously I can't reveal the question. I'm sure there are like rules and regulations where I can't reveal you the questions, but it was something that you can't practice, like you can't lead code it or something. Like this was something that you just do it. And unfortunately I was given this question like almost at like when there were like 10 minutes or something left in the interview, like, so I really wasn't able to like solve it. So I think if you ask me, in my opinion, this is the round that took the interview away from me. So I would say out of 100, probably like 40, 50 max. Like that also, like I'm being very humble here. Yeah, I think probably this is the round I lost the interview. But yeah, overall I had like 6 rounds of interviews. If I had cleared all the 5 rounds, there would have been one more round with the director of the team or something, and that would have been a behavioral round. What I read in internet is if you go till there, you probably are getting it. But yeah, I think I screwed up the fifth round, but I mean the sixth round. But this is the experience of all the 6 rounds that I have mentioned to you. If you want to know any more details, you can comment in the comment section. I will try to like explain or like give more insights into it, but obviously I won't tell any actual questions. But yeah, like I also have experiences with other companies. If you really like these kinds of videos, let me know. I will make videos on those also. And yeah, thank you so much for watching my YouTube video, and please like and comment if you really like this video.